Well, again, nothing much changed between Shouma and his uncle's relationship. Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about episode 43 of Kamen Rider Gavv. Now to the recap, I want to explain that Shouma, that he'd been looking for his relative all the time behind his back, and pretty much apologized for it, but never actually expected to be so close with a family member, which is his uncle Masaru. And Masaru doesn't know about his sister's fate at all, and Hunter gets a call from him, and they want to have a meetup to see what else they can do for some more information they want to get out for Hunter, as well as some more information from Michiru. Hunter agrees to meet up with Masaru to reveal as much information he can, as Shouma wants to join in as well so they can see his uncle in order to reveal some other information as well. And meanwhile, we see Boka talk with Gavv about the experiment that they did last episode with Suga, saying it is a success, and wait for the next experiment, especially with the next election coming up soon. So yeah, that's gonna be a plot point later. And Boka announces that he actually going to the human world, shocking Gavv, as he actually wants to investigate the place as like a separate inspection, want to extract every last information he can and value from us humans. And Masaru meets with the gang and Happy Pretty much thinking it's fate to actually meet up with Shouma all the time, not having no idea that he's actually his uncle. And Shouma's pretty much happy they actually realized that he actually is his uncle. And Masaru actually remembered Amane from the beach last episode, as she actually prepared some tea, and Masaru starts questioning Hantu about Granute they've been investigating. Pretty much started getting angry, actually getting riled up, actually wanted to know what's happening, and Hantu tried his best to calm him down, try to give him some answers. As far as Masaru figures out that that's the reason why Hantu been investigating all the missing people, because of the fact that, yeah, he had been hunting down the Granute. Pretty smart of Masaru, and still getting pretty heated over his sister, actually getting angry, even Shouma trying his best to try to calm him down, trying to tell him something, other than go to back him up by actually breaking something in order to relieve the tension. And Masaru apologized for his outburst and start to calm down, as Shouma doesn't tell him anything he wanted to say. And Masaru actually always say that he never actually believed that his sister would actually be dead all the time, or something bad happened to her, as he always went missing and always expected the worst to hear, but never expected to be eaten by a monster. Really good one take by the actor of Masaru, really good job trying to convey the feeling. I actually do like the one take they do for him crying over the fact that, yeah, his sister might be dead, eaten by a Granute. And Hunter continues to say that, yeah, he chased the Granute but doesn't know a definitive answer, and he'll probably tell him later. Masaru sees it, understanding, just leaves, pretty much silent for his information. Meanwhile, Boka is actually human in this guy, being played by Takeru Funakai. I pretty much butchered that name, I'm so sorry. Pretty funny that he's not actually the actor who is Takeru's voice, it's still the same voice actor playing Boka, who goes around looking at the building with Liselle. As they walk around some famous locations in Japan, and they say that they'll use these resources for better use when they take over the world, for the Granute World. But yeah, pretty messed up. And Jeep continues to practice with his bitter Gavv power in order to fight against Gavv's agent, as he defeats them. Pretty cool. And he's gotten stronger over a while, and Gavv actually agreed with it that now that the bitter Gavv has settled up with his body, no longer rejecting him, saying that the data has gotten better, and actually think he can actually defeat Shouma, which is pretty much a lie that he tried to get him out of his sight, and Gavv doesn't seem to believe it anyway, with the change of tone in his face. Meanwhile, Shouma and Hunter talk over the fact that, yeah, he couldn't actually say anything to Masaru about the fact that he's actually the nephew, and he actually say the first time to actually see him angry. He's been hurt all this time, kind of like Hanto as well. He wants to help him out in any way he can, but doesn't know what to do. And interestingly, Hanto actually become the best character because I love Hanto. He actually said that he doesn't regret the fact that he actually knew about his mom thanks to Shouma. He needed to accept the fate one way or another. Doesn't regret his information anymore. Actually started to accept it and move on. Saying that he actually, had a lot of trouble accepting it at first with Shouma and all that, but doesn't regret it anymore. But say that only because he's him and doesn't know how he will actually handle with Masaru's reaction to the fact that his sister's dead. As he said, leaves. Need to get back to work. Shouma need to figure out what to do. And meanwhile, Lucky is walking around, which is pretty funny to see. And Boka and Liselle are actually behind him as they look at a building. And he decides to actually turn the building into some food for the lower class. Actually destroys it. And Lucky turns around, actually prepared to actually fight against Liselle and Boka, not realizing that it actually is Boka. And pretty funny that they actually become smart villains because these some of the butlers, and as Lucky about to transform, he actually fails as one of the butlers grabs the driver and throws it away and just start beating him up. Yeah, they just beat him up to like a lot. With a nice choreograph, nice camera movement, and nice little close-up with Lucky's face being beaten up with some meme potential. And yeah, Lucky left to be defeated. And Boka not really impressed by the Granute Hunter, and Liselle said that, there's 2 more left. Calling her Papa as they leave with the butler. And Lucky realizes that it's actually the president, Boka, and getting worried about it. Meanwhile, Shouma meets with Masaru as he actually wants some snacks, and that's all he wants to get, which is pretty funny to see. As he gets a new product he made called a melon jelly, as Shouma enjoys eating it. As he actually tells Shouma they actually remind him of his sister, as he actually say that she loved eating snacks, and we have a cute little flashback of her eating the little melon jelly as well. Nice moment, it's pretty sad that he'll never understand that, yeah, his sister's dead. And Shouma finally realized that, yeah, it had to be his mom, especially all the flashback with him seeing with his mom actually sharing her memory about snacks and treats. And Masaru explains that he actually quit his job and actually acquired a shop when it was actually going under because it was actually the favorite spot for his mom. Which is pretty cute. As Shouma actually created a new jelly power called Pudding Jelly, something like that, which is kind of weird because Nieb actually created both jelly. So I'm wondering, like, the pudding day for Lakia, making me think, how does this work? Like, the Shouma had the power to make jelly and pudding or something like that? I don't understand. This is confusing to me. How does it work at all? I just wanted to excuse just to show the new toy for Shouma and Lakia to use. But anyway, Shouma actually asked Masaru what to know her fate. And Masaru says that he wanted to know for so long that she was alive all the time. As she actually stronger than him. He's saying that he's a weak person, but, you know, his sister, the stronger person than him, actually always putting her foot forward and look at the best situation for a bad time. Saying that he'll actually wait for her all the time for the shop and always keep it open, maybe greeting her one day with the shop when she come back home. Which is just sad knowing that, yeah, Michiru's dead. Can't wait to see how that's gonna affect him. Shouma gets a call from Amane that Lucky had been injured, actually telling him that the president is there for an inspection, and they decide to leave. Joins up with Honda, and they actually find Lisette and Boca together as they confront them. As he reveals himself with a disguise showing that he is the president, and they ask him why he's here. And they explain that he's actually here for inspection to understand what the human world is like before he takes over it to become their cattle. And our writer would not allow it, and they transform Honda to his super form, or I guess final form now, and Shouma to his kicking form. As they prepare to fight, I actually summon some pawn to help them out. As Boca summons a butler, they all fight each other, which is pretty cool to see. And Boca wants to actually test them how strong they are. As I said, pretty cool fight, seeing how the butler actually pushes them back over and over again with the pawn trying to help Shouma Hunter out. As Shouma uses the new jelly power in order to make some invisible pawns to attack the butlers to help them out in their fight. And then another smart moment, as Hunter tried to fight again, one of the butlers actually tried to prepare his finisher with half of the frappe power, but the butler stops him and actually grabs the frappe thing, just throws it away. Which is pretty funny to see how the frappe goes all the way up and trying to figure out where he is. And Lisette is actually there about to blast it away, but Boca stops her as they want to see how strong these riders are. As funny little thing that the little piece actually rolls off from the steel beam and just lands on side Hunter's finisher and actually blasts the butler away, killing him once and for all. Also pretty funny that the pawns are actually like dancing, holding hands. It's pretty cute before being immediately killed by one of the butlers. So it's pretty funny to see. I don't know why, but it just made me laugh. And the other butler tried to attack him, but Shouma stopped him with his finisher, actually knocking him down and killing him as well. Which is pretty cool to see that they actually managed to defeat two of the butlers. Only like 100 more to go. Boca now knows how strong they are. As Shouma prepared to get ready to use his final form, but then Boca just blasts them away, knocking them out of the transformation. And Lisette actually argued why they try so hard to fight against Boca, knowing they're not strong as he is, which I just say a little bit of a I cannot wait for her to be defeated once and for all. And Boca as well. I cannot see this little smug face of her actually crumble. I cannot wait. I hate her. As they both decide to go home, and the writer left there injured, seeing the true power of Boca, the president of the Granute World. After that, the writer go home in order to get patched up by Amane, and they decide that they had to think about not telling Masaru or anything about his sister just yet, and they want to ease the pain for it right now, and maybe hopefully one day they actually tell him, once they actually fully accept that, you know, Shouma is actually his nephew or something. Not yet. I can't really accept the decision, but we have to wait to see where this goes, for the plot point. As they get motivated with ice cream, getting ready to fight against Boca next time, when they're all ready to fight him. And Nieb looking over Jeep's data, saying that yeah, he had gotten stronger, but not as close as Shouma, even at the beginning. Saying that he should team up with Shouma instead at the episode end. Overall, this was an okay episode. Not sure what to say. I like the fact that Boca actually started to fight against the Riders, but we have to wait and see how long he stays strong before he gets nerfed or be defeated by the Riders in their final form. Also, the fact that yeah, we're going to see their final form fight against Boca. I can't wait to see what their true monster form looks like along with Cell. Let's see how strong they really are in their true monster form. Also, pretty smart villains of the butler just stopping Lucky from transforming, also stopping Hunter from making finisher. Can't wait to see more of that with the cool fight scenes between all of them. Really cool action, I like all that. I like how Jeep started to get more powerful, but not too close to Shouma. Even Nieb getting annoyed by him, wanted to actually team up with Shouma. Hopefully see that next episode with all the plot points with the last few episodes, because we're in the endgame now, and I'm kind of disappointed Masaru doesn't know that Shouma is his nephew. Hope we get a plot point later like that to see it resolved, because I want to see it resolved. As Shouma need to be happy, okay? Of course, I know Masaru will be sad and probably angry over the fact that, yeah, his sister's dead. But hopefully he can find some solace over the fact that he has a nephew now, and that he also likes interacting with. Hopefully we get to see a nice interaction between them. Not much to say, this episode was okay. As we're getting close to the movie now, which seems to be canon based on the preview, but we have to wait to see for next week's episode. Rating wise, we get a 7.6 out of 10. What do you guys think? Do you like the episode or do you not? What do you think about the fact that Shouma didn't tell Masaru about being his nephew? Do you agree with the decision or do you not agree with it? Also, what do you think about the fact that, yeah, the president is there for inspection and just starts wailing on the fighters? Do you think he'll be nerfed later when all three of them transform to the final form together to fight him or not? Are you waiting for these cells to actually get what's coming to her? Because I am. What do you think about Niev's plan? Do you think he'll succeed teaming up with Shouma, or do you think he'll just use it to make them more bitter Gavv clone? Maybe we'll see about that. Leave a comment down below and subscribe for more Kamen Rider Gavv content. Peace.